your new Toyota Starlet Cross. Own it.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. There was a time when TV channels were not interested in broadcasting the CAF Champions League. I think SuperSport only acquired the rights to broadcast the CAF Champions League in full in the last few years. There was like maybe a period during COVID, I remember we were watching these games online and we were reporting them to you because there was no South African broadcaster broadcasting it. Last night and tonight and last week as well in the first legs was further proof of why you don't have to buy the Champions League. If CAF wants to give it for free, they can give it to you for free and then you can broadcast it. But you don't necessarily have to buy the Champions League. No one has to pay for it. Most of the teams, it's 0-0. Most of the coaches, when they play away, they want to defend. It's a lot of defensive football. That's why everyone was crazy about Arsenal beating Real Madrid. The only reason why we're talking about Sundowns Esperance was just that VAR moment. There was nothing else to discuss in the first leg and the second leg. Nothing to discuss. Go and watch the first leg, the first half, Sundowns Esperance. Go and watch this that we watched tonight. There's a reason why there were no rights purchased for the CAF Champions League. It's dead. It's dead because the North African teams killed it. You go away, you defend. Even sometimes if you have a 1-0 lead, you defend. And that's it. There's nothing there to watch from an entertainment perspective. Lindo Pep, my analyst. Orlando Pirates are through to the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League. What did you make of the game, sir?
Mr. Nkeu?
Yes, sir.
I think Bulise, chairman, technical director.
You're looking for a sponsorship. I'm looking at the World Sports Betting.
It's the second time.
Yeah, I'm looking at the sponsorship. I'm looking at the logo. World Sports Betting. I'm like, Lindo, the layers, I'm sure.
Mr. Nkeu.
So big, it's sponsor. You're gonna be an ambassador of something big.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Hopefully. I receive from your mouth to God's ears, Mr.
Yes,
Nkeu.
sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Mr. Nkeu, to Orlando Pirates, no Jorge Rivero. They always say that the intensity of the motivation, right, Nkulego, is more actually the stamina. Is more the stamina of the motivation is more. What am I saying? I'm actually confusing myself. Tingy again. The stamina.
You were going somewhere.
I was going somewhere very interesting.
Yeah.
The stamina of the motivation.
Yes. Uguti, how far the motivation is willing to run the marathon with you will help you along a journey. I don't know the full saying, but I can see the logic in that.
It's not about the intensity of the motivation.
Sure.
It's about the stamina
of the motivation.
That's
exactly.
the one. Got it.
Because the motivation is fleeting.
Yeah.
Kusho ukuthi namhlanje ungazizwa une motivation ukuthi you can take over the world, and then tomorrow your girlfriend leaves you and then you are down.
Yeah.
But so your motivation is fleeting, up and down.
Yeah.
Mara istamina sa motivation ukukhuthazeka.
Yeah.
Uma ngabe ungakhuthazeka every single day of the week you will go very far in life.
Yeah, Nkulego, motivation is not actually how we should approach life. It's always about discipline.
Sure.
And I believe that big clubs operate. That's why even in school there's a practice, there's a discipline. Right? Theory is more discipline. And for me, the best strategies in football, it's known to be boring. The best footballing principles are known to be boring, but that's where stability is in football. The doing same thing over and over again in football sounds boring, but that's where stability is, in my opinion. I spoke about playing the moment and playing the moment and players having the ability to play the moment, but don't make it a tactical culture. You Orlando Pirates got the results over Mamelodi Sundowns playing like this. They got the result, obviously, Alger playing like this. They come to Orlando Stadium, they apply the very same tactic, in my opinion. And for me, there's no stamina in that thing. There is no stamina in how they play.
Oh, it's consistent.
It's consistent, yes, for sure.
Yes, let me call you out and everyone else maybe who's a content creator.
Yeah.
When this thing works, you say Jose Rivero is a genius.
Yeah.
You say that, everyone who's a content creator says that, and even tonight we run the risk of irritating Pirates fans because they will think of him as a genius because it won. This thing is risky, this thing is predictable, and if you're playing against a decent team, it won't work. But it worked tonight, and you are seen as a genius. So you see where the difficulty is. It's difficult to criticize something where you were happy for it to win the MTN 8. Yeah. You were happy for it to beat Sundowns recently. You were happy for it away from home. You were happy for it now. So then it's like,
yeah, because for me, my biggest worry is he has already built a tactical culture in this club, introduced players and profiled players that suit Stylese Pirates. Now I'm more worried that he's going to leave this club playing defensive football. And he already built something, a culture that was exceptional. For me, I don't believe that he should sacrifice whatever that is built to win the CAF Champions League. I understand that he's got management that would say, deliver the Champions League, deliver the league. But with the work that he's done for me, I don't think he should sacrifice those players because he's not using Abo Rile according to his best, according to their strength. He's not using Abo Nkota according to their strength. Another thing to mention, Nkulego, is that the cognitive part of the brain is important, more especially in football. Why am I saying that? Orlando Pirates has always been struggling with this. In Spain, that's why their midfielders always scan. They always look at the brain. The brain is more important than speed, the physicality. They don't look at Spain, the midfielder, he's got physicality, he's got speed. No, they look at the brain. Are you able to make better decisions? Because decision making is more important than anything in football. You're looking at Umbata, you're looking at Umakaula again. Lack of emergency, lack of vision in their game. All the time, the ball must play Uma winger, it pass me from deep. For me, I'm very critical of the Orlando Pirates midfield. They genuinely need to do something very special there next season, investing in that midfield, because no matter how much they are getting results, you can see that they are not dominating this game. These guys were better for me in these 2 legs. Congratulations for Orlando Pirates for going through, but if I'm being honest, they were the better team in these 2 legs. Yes, Orlando Pirates.
Unfortunately, Upeta Wabo is not good enough. Yeah. Upeta Wabo, I can argue, I agree with you today, they were the better team, but Upeta Wabo, Uguti, they were asked by Pirates with the goal Pirates scored to then play make. So it was up to them. Pirates were saying, well, you are the ones behind, then you must play make. So we have to contextualize Lopeta. Ungono wabo kuguti iPirates decide ukuthi we are not going to play because we are 1-0 up. Nina ke dlalani ke. So ubeta wabo ungono ngaleyo ndlela yokuthi they were chasing the game.
Yeah, they were chasing the game, and also it's better than what we were watching yesterday. They were initiating the game. Even in Alger and Kulego, they were initiating the game. This team won the league last year, and this season they're competing for the league. From a tactical perspective, you can see it's a team that are champions. But the only disadvantage in their game is that it lacks imaginations, it lacks vision. They hardly find the forward pass, they hardly break the line, they hardly take shots into goals.
Sipo Chayene was never desperate.
No, he was on holiday.
He was never 1v1, he had to make magic happen. He never had to make magic happen. So even that better, yes, I agree with you, better, but better how? Because you didn't even trouble the goalkeeper on the Pirates.
You know what? I felt like they got the game, like in terms of control of the game. I think technically, from what we've seen from our North Africans, I think this is a better footballing side.
That's why I think that's the best North African side in terms of playing.
No, credit to the coach, man. I also like the guy Udlalembizenu Taliba, the number 10. Ngimbiza the Algerian Iniesta, Mr. Nkeo. He looks good. South Africa to be. Leankalagata's got something. He doesn't suit the style of players in North Africa because they always like to go wide and bring in crosses. They play around the opponent. They don't play through the opponent. And I feel Ngwenya Lena wanted to play around. But so many impressive performances defensively from Orlando Pirates, like expected. Umbogazi hardly makes his mistakes, 0 mistakes. He's a contender for defender of the season. Contender for defender of the season.
Probably could take it too. If Sesane had lost it the whole season, maybe Sesane. But Spacey probably could take it.
Pasadine can push him a little bit close, but I think he's a huge, big contender. For me, Toki also, when he started coming back from his injury, I personally was very hard on him. But 0 mistakes again. I think also the back 3 is helping him because now I think Utoki has the quality to always defend like a fullback. I think there he's exceptional. Then he's got a cover.
There's enough cover.
There's enough cover. And Umakaula as well. I spoke about the criticism. Defensively, they look solid. But for me, imagination of going forward. Umakopa played like Ushalulile yesterday, was far away from everyone. Unkota in the first half played exceptionally well. I think he was the one who was the threat on the right-hand side. Arana behind the defense. Didn't really create much as well. Udlale trafficking too much today, in my opinion. I think the boy, no matter how good he is, I think he's still learning the game. He's not really a seasoned player. We are more in terms of when he plays in traffic, when he plays Guma pockets, he tries to overdo. But every time when he goes wide, it does feel like a threat. It does have a vision. You the final pass to find whoever that's in the front line. But congratulations to Orlando Pirates for this results, Mr.
Maybe the significance of this for South African teams, 2 clubs in the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League as well. I'm not sure what's happening with Stellenbosch. Even Fadlu Davids, Usasimba, he's in the semi-finals of the Confederations Cup as well. But just speak to Orlando Pirates, the importance of having 2 teams in the semi-finals in South Africa.
I think having 2 teams is good for South African football. I think it raises the standard of the national team as well, which is very important. I think most of our players want to be in the national team. I think the traveling, the intensity of the matches, dealing with referees, the intensity of the match, learning to play games of consequence. I think as a nation, we are moving in a direction where our players understand that because the Betway Premiership is an excellent product, but but obviously there's not a lot of games of consequences.
quality of matches.
The quality of matches is not the same as the Champions League. But even though you can be critical as well of the Champions League.
Grand Champions League.
Yeah, but
you can't. It's not watchable. You would have to shoot me first to make me watch it. if there was no reward for watching it, I'm doing it because it's a job.
Yeah, no.
Otherwise, there's no. I love African football. I studied the history of it. I'm an African, but as good enough as coaches, all of them are careerists. Or everyone wants to preserve the possibility of winning a star, put it on their CV.
Yeah. No, Nkulego, but it's also important for me, after what I've said, it's important for me to mention that with both teams, exceptional from Mamelodi Sundowns, what they've done, they're creating a football heritage. Orlando Pirates are new into this space. They're trying to create their own heritage, their own history, but it's important to not kill a rival. That's what I want in South African football. One of the things that you can learn from our North Africans, South Americans, is that they don't kill a rival. We cannot be too nice with each other at times. The one thing that I don't appreciate with South Africans, but also I understand where we come from as a country, where we come from a violent period in our country or era where both fans couldn't sit together. But I don't like it personally. I feel that every big game, Pirates must sit that side, Sundowns must sit that side. We cannot kill a rival. We cannot say I'm a Pirate. Sundowns fans cannot be happy that Sundowns Pirates won. Chiefs fans cannot be happy. But as an analyst for South African football and what it's doing, for me, top. But from a fan perspective, for the fans who are watching this at home, we cannot kill rivalry in South African football. We need to make sure that rivalry is back. Pirates fans must make sure that they wish Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns to lose. The very same with the other teams.
I think they do anyways. I think whatever they say, there might be ones who are matured enough to know. Like, I mean, we've watched football. I've watched football for maybe close to 30 years, since I was 5 years old. So I've gone through that, being a fan and all of that. You get over that. There's different types of fans. Some fans I want South African teams to do well, but I get your point. It's a very good point that we should still be tense between each other. I can't be wearing a Pirates or Sundowns jersey. You can't be wearing a Chiefs or Pirates jersey. And same with Sundowns fans. They shouldn't be wearing other teams' jersey, for example. We should still be maintaining our own identities as different teams.
Yeah, be cordial with one another, Mr. Nkeo. But don't lose the rivalry. Because rivalry is also what makes football very interesting. But from a Champions League perspective, I think it's an opportunity for South African football to grow, for South African football to go on the map. And also, it's important to speak about the FIFA Club World Cup. I think that's the big fish.
It's an opportunity.
It's for every club that's playing in South African football, they should have the desires to play at the club. Coaches in this country, football players in this country, most of them might not play in Europe, but you will have an opportunity to play against Real Madrid, Chelsea, and all of these big clubs. And the best opportunity as you, as a coach, Lindo Pep, if I want to reach the world, is I need to make sure I win the league with Orlando Pirates, the Champions League with Orlando Pirates, so that I can have an opportunity to be seen by the world.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much to Lindo Pep. That was Orlando Pirates against MC Alger. My analysts at halftime were thinking maybe there might be some goals, but these games, we watch them long enough to know that they get killed. Like, the Champions League is very interesting. The coaches kill the game whilst we are watching it, the viewing audience. The other one is like, oh, whatever, we don't need to score, and they don't have to score. And then the other one is like, okay, we're not good enough to score, but let me change. And then you see, like, the game is being killed right in front of you. It's like a slaughter of a sheep. If you've ever slaughtered any sheep, it's like the life is coming out of the match whilst we are watching it. So it happens a lot, not only in this match. Esperance against Sundowns also was very dull, uninteresting, and many other matches as well. iDiski TV, iDiski Times was sports betting. For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiski TV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niyazi bafowethu, amakhosi for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiski TV.